Good morning. You're just texting me about how you're dropping your phone and you're going to bed, so figured I should get more of these preloaded for you now that we're not doing D&D today. Well, since we didn't do D&D today. See if we can do one or two more of these. June 21st, 9:48, District Court Defendant Lobby number 2. Oh, it's number 3. My bad. How embarrassing.
What? Prosecutor Von Karma? You mean... No, I heard it's his successor this time.
Oh, sorry, that's... it's gonna take me a second. There's a lot involved in this one. It's kind of irritating. Not irritating, but like overwhelming.
Successor? Manfred Von Karma, that was really sinister man. He pulled all sorts of nasty tricks all so he could win.
He was a man obsessed with the word perfection. He had a perfect record after 40 years. Who knows what sort of dirty tricks he used to get each of those guilty verdicts. And now, his successor. I wonder what kind of person they will turn out to be.
It's no good. Mystic Maya.
Pearl, oh god, what was Pearl's voice? I don't remember what I did to make it different than Maya's.
It was like putting like a little slur on it or something.
Pearly,
you showed up. Thanks for coming all this way.
You're the best and I miss you too.
I was really worried about you.
Hey,
where's your mother? Didn't you two come together? Mother was watching over the trainees. She said having training for 2 days straight with no breaks.
Huh? Then you came all by yourself?
Yep, I snuck out of the main room, followed the map.
I think that's what I did. But it's like the same thing except I use more tongue. Don't tell me you walked all the way here.
Of course not. I ran.
I can't. Oh my. It takes 2 hours by train. Oh man.
Pearly, what about the train?
Huh?
What's a train?
I give up.
It's time, isn't it? I'm really scared. What if Von Karma tries to do something to me? At least I know Mr. Edgeworth would be nice to the Von Karma. Mr. Edgeworth? Who's that? He's Nick's friend and he's also a rival.
Oh god. Oh, okay.
I still remember him as though it was only yesterday. Every trial was a scorching, fierce battle to the very end. It was always a back and forth with them, but when you're rivals for life...
Maya! Please don't mention that name ever again.
But why, Nick?
I'm sorry, Maya. I forgot you didn't know. He's gone, and he's not coming back.
What? Wait a second, wait. What's that supposed to mean?
Court will commence shortly. Please proceed into the courtroom. Let's go. There's no time to talk about any of that now anyways.
Nick?
I don't even remember what happened to Edgeworth. Did he go to jail? Did I lose the trial or something? I don't remember. Oh, it is the hot whip lady. Hell yeah. Court is now in session for the trial of Maya Fey. The prosecution and the defense prepared. What's with this kid? Ahem, Mr. Wright, are you prepared? Huh? Yes, Your Honor. Why does he always seem mad at me? Mr. Wright. You must be a little shocked because I am a woman, correct? Hold on. So she's the famed successor to Prosecutor Von Karma? I am Franziska Von Karma, the prodigy. I see. I gave up on a promising career in Germany and came to this country for one sole reason. Revenge. Revenge? Is this about her father? If it isn't of personal nature, if it's something of a personal nature, I'm sure you can... Ow! I'm talking. If you interrupt me again, my whip will do the speaking for me. I've switched between French, Spanish, and German already. Please speak with your mouth like a normal person, I beg of you. Ow! Make no mistake, I will defeat you. Prepare to go down, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Prosecutor Von Karma, your opening statement, please. Those of the Von Karma blood have only one fate, and that is perfection. The defendant Maya Fey will find no escape from her guilt on my watch. Very well. What is the defense position? Your Honor. Does the defense wish to enter plea of not guilty? Yes. Foolish fool who foolishly dreams of foolish dreams. Alright, I like her. 10 minutes. I will give the defense 10 minutes before it can change its plea. That's right. I'll have you running for the justified self-defense plea in no time. Justified self-defense? A plea usually reserved for when a person unintentionally kills in the defense of themselves. He's like, oh fuck, I hadn't even thought of that. We could very easily make a solid case that was self-defense, but... The defense stand by the plea of not guilty, Your Honor. Because to plead justified self-defense is to say you did kill someone. Is that not a thing in Japan? Are you not allowed to kill in self-defense? How foolish. If that's how you want to play it, Mr. Phoenix, right? Oh, I'm fucking... I'm the fucking... What's his name? From Sweeney Todd. The rival barber that's played by Sacha Baron Cohen. Mr. Sweeney Todd. Then I shall now call the first witness. She's just as scary as her father. Like father, like daughter, I suppose. Oh, good. Gumshoe's back. I gotta remember all these fucking accents. 1 second. Let me make sure I have room on my... Yeah, I do. Witness, your name and occupation? Yes, sir. My name is... That was not his voice. It was like padded. It was like, my name's Dick Gumshoe. There we go. I'm a detective at the local precinct. Get to the point already. Explain to the court the details of this murder. Yes, sir. Everyone, please look at this map. Yeah, the map. Oh. The channeling chamber has no windows and the door was locked shut. At the time of the murder, only the victim and... Oh. At the time of the murder, only the victim and the defendant were in the room. What were they doing in there? Snacks? They were channeling, sir. Channeling a spirit? In here? In this court? That's quite the look of disbelief, Your Honor. Anyways, a few minutes after the channeling started, gunshots were heard coming from inside the room, sir. A few of the witnesses, me, broke the door down and rushed into the room. That's where they found the victim was already dead, correct? I believe this is one of the most open and shut cases I've ever presided over. He didn't even say that he killed her yet. Like, he made no he made no assertions. Floor plans. So, how was the victim killed? I was about to get to that. Stop wasting my time, then. Cause of death. Witness testimony. Damn, they got a fucking revolver. The direct cause of death was a pistol shot to the forehead, sir. The shot was fired from point-blank range. But before the victim was shot, sir, he was stabbed in the chest. The wound was very severe, but not enough to cause instantaneous death. The murderer used the pistol to finish the victim off after the stabbing. So the victim was stabbed before being shot. That doesn't make a whole lot of fucking sense now, does it? This is the victim's autopsy report, sir. After being stabbed in the chest, he was shot in the forehead at point-blank range. Oh, I don't know if that's what... We have a bullet hole coming through the... To be fair, we heard multiple gunshots. So, there is room for him still to have been shot in the head at point-blank range. But there was also a shot that came through the 8 inches off the ground through the screen at the back of the room. The court accepts you. They did evidence, Mr. Wright. You may question the witness. He wasn't even a witness. I guess he was. Well, he showed up after. Causes of death. The direct cause of death. Shot was fired from point blank range. I mean, talk to you about that. Point blank, huh? So about how far is that? Is there an official? Is there an official fucking designation for point blank? 12 to 20 inches. Is point blank not 1 to 12? What's 1 to 12? It's anywhere between 12 to 20 inches away, sir. And how do you know he was shot at point blank range? Disc, Mr. Phoenix, right? I grow tired of the foolish foolery of these foolish fools in this foolish country. Excuse me? Gunpowder burn. Gunpowder burn? When something is shot from point blank, a burn area is left around the bullet hole. Gunpowder exploding is what makes... I lost it again. Jesus, this is gonna be hard. Gunpowder... the gunpowder exploding is what makes a bullet fire and they get real hot, pal. And there were definitely some gunpowder burns left on the victim's forehead. Wow, never knew that. Live and learn, I guess. Phoenix? We're gonna press about a bunch of stuff here. Stabbed? What was he stabbed with? A fruit knife. I see. Whose knife was it? It looked like it... Wait, wasn't the ant... I don't know, it's fine. It looks like I think the ant served you some sort of fruit. I don't remember what it is now, though. It looks like it belonged to the face, sir. And of course, my face fingerprints are all over it. All over it, huh? This does not look good. What will you do now, Mr. Phoenix, Wright? I feel like there's no penalty to press everything. How severe was the wound? If it had been half an inch more to the right, then it would have hit the victim's hat. But after a stab like that, it's impossible to fight back, let alone stand. This testimony makes it sound like Maya had stabbed him with the intent to kill. The murderer then finished off the victim with the pistol. Are you sure he was stabbed first, then shot? Yep, sure as sure can be. One look at the wounds and you'd come to the same conclusion too, pal. A foolish fool will only... A fool is a fool who will only listen to foolish opinions of other foolish fools. A pistol shot to the forehead at point blank is certainly enough to kill instantly. Does it matter then which was first? Think a little more before opening that big fat mouth of yours, Mr. Phoenix, Wright. What pain. Nothing sounds out of place so far. I should try to learn more about the murder weapon for now. The one that I didn't do was the right one to do. The murder weapon, Detective Gunchu. Whose pistol was it? It was the victim's. The victim? Now, why would he have... Objection. Why would he have a pistol? Who cares? I fucking care. The point is that you're missing whose fingerprints are on the pistol. If you're not already paying attention to that, then I suggest you start. Fingerprints? There were fingerprints? Do I have fingerprints? Along with the victims. The defendant Maya face were also on the grip, sir. So the defendant's fingerprints were left on the murder weapon. I walked right into her hands there. Bitch, you told me that's enough. We have clearly established how the victim was murdered. I brought the 2 murder weapons with me today, sir. Very well, the court accepts them into evidence. The date and time of death was June 19th at 3:15. Eyewitnesses claim to have heard 2 gunshots at this time. And the 2 murder weapons, both with the defendant's fingerprints on them, huh? This does seem like an open shut case. We've heard no... Don't you bow, bitch. Naturally. This is going from bad to worse. As if the summary just now wasn't oversimplifying things to the extreme. Your Honor, feel free to slam that little gavel of yours. Now I'm turning Russian. After all, there is no room left for doubt, is there? That is quite true, Mr. Wright. Yes, even in the face of all this, do you still wish to plead not guilty? It's the opinion of this court that if you do not adjust your plea, you stand to lose. See, just as I promised, Mr. Wright, you would change your plea in less than 10 minutes. What will you do, Mr. Wright? Will you change to justified self-defense? Because now would be the time to do so. This is your final chance. No, not guilty. If we plead justified self-defense, we would basically be confessing to a murder. After the trial, Maya's life would be ruined and she'd be labeled a murderer. I can't let that happen. And it's the ant. Have you reached a conclusion, Mr. Wright? The defense will not change its plea. We will accept nothing short of complete acquittal. Ouch. She keeps whipping me. You have sealed your fate, Mr. Wright. Detective. Yes? Present the final portion of your testimony. The final strike. Yes, sir. Now, see here. Proceedings are run by... Ah! Oh, yes, of course. Go ahead, detective, and give your testimony. I think the court would like to hear about this other piece of incriminating evidence that I somehow withheld until after he had made his decision, because that is how this court works. Incriminating evidence. Sorry, pal, but there's an even more incriminating piece of evidence. The costume the defendant was wearing at the time of the crime. As you can see, it's covered in blood. The defendant attacked and killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back. So this is the costume. It's just her clothes. It's not a costume. She's a fucking spirit medium. She wears that. There's certainly evidence of a backspray of blood on this. This piece directly links Maya Fey to the crime, sir. I see. The court accepts this into evidence. Maya's costume is added to the court record. All right, Mr. Wright. Maya's fingerprints were on both. Yeah. Ah, what's wrong? You seem to be at a loss. I think this is the last piece of testimony the prosecution should offer. Feel free to sulk off with your tail between your legs, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Please stop calling me by my full name. It's disturbing. Okay. Costume. Objection. All right. He wasn't fighting back? How do you know if he was or wasn't? We could find no evidence that the victim put up on any sort of struggle, pal. So did the murderer have a fight with the victim or not? Depending on this, the circumstances around this murder may change drastically. Oh, we're in real trouble now. If only I had something to prove the victim did fight back. That Von Karma, she thinks she can decide the verdict with this testimony alone. Well, I'll find a critical contradiction somehow. Maya's costume? Yeah, she was wearing this when we arrested her. Maya, she was wearing her channeling costume that day too. Is she not allowed to wear anything else? Cool. As you can see, it's covered. I'm just gonna keep pressing things. The blood on this costume. Lab results show it's the victim's blood. So there is blood on the victim's. Blah, 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 definitely not good. So were there any? Oh god, I'm getting oh god, my brain is fracturing right now. Whew, okay. So were there any other clues you could glean from this piece of evidence? Well, if you must change the topic, then the good detective here must testify again. But too bad, not enough time. Let's move on. What's the time limit? Ah, yes, Miss Von Karma's perfectly correct. It's fucking almost lunchtime. But if I could press further. What the? Yeah, Von Karma's trying to get us away from this. There must be a reason she suddenly threw it out. There must be something about this costume. I just have to look harder. There's a bullet hole in the sleeve. I see the bullet hole in the sleeve. Your Honor, actually, there's something very wrong with this piece of evidence. What? What are you talking about, pal? Where's this problem you're talking about? I've come this far. There's no turning back now. The problem I have with this piece of evidence is here. Boop. Take that! I asked the court to please look at the sleeve of this costume. The sleeve? There's a tiny hole here. A hole? But that wasn't in the report. Hold on. What's this around it? It smells... you passed it. It smells faintly of gunpowder. Who's letting the judge just handle the evidence with like... It smells like innocence. Gunpowder? Nobody ever told me. A hole that smells of gunpowder. Looks like we found the hole I was looking for. Your Honor, the only logical conclusion you must make is that it was a bullet hole. If the dress does not fit, you must acquit. We need some OJ level defense right now for this case, Jesus. Order, order, order. This is a very grave matter. It's best we correct the record first before anything else. Sorry about that. I guess we messed up, sir. Is she actually smiling? I wish she would step on me. What else is she hiding in that buxom blouse? Pull yourself together, detective. That tiny hole doesn't change a thing. The strength of the evidence still holds. Continue with your testimony. Just now, that was a fluke and nothing more. I hope she's just like a non-crooked lawyer. She's just like a badass. How could you say something like that? This is a huge oversight. Well, I agree it's a mistake on the part of the police. What Prosecutor Von Karma said is true. The evidence still stands. If you do not find a more definitive problem with the evidence, then no way. Detective Gunshoe, please continue with your testimony. Well, yeah, I can... No, I didn't mean to press. Shit. Sorry, 1 second. I meant to fucking show the thing as evidence that he was fighting back. Present. This. Yeah, the music stopped. Detective Dick Gumshoe. I told you not to call me that in court. It's Richard. Yes? Having you call me by my full name is kind of inappropriate. You said my client killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back. Yeah, I did. Then, may I ask, why is there a bullet hole in here? What is it? What do you mean? I'll tell you what I mean. I mean that the victim had fired the first shot. Or off a shot. Is this what it means not to fight back? Haha, you're right. It seems you're correct. The victim tried to shoot the defendant. Then that would change everything. Alright, the winds seem to be shifting. What is with this "are you finished yet" laugh? Are you finished yet, Mr. Wright? Miss Von Karma? It would seem that Maya Fey was shot by the victim. However, that is only grounds enough to support a justified self-defense plea. That is correct. But you remember, Your Honor, what the defense clearly said. They rejected justified self-defense and pleaded not guilty. Ech. Now that you... Why? That's right. Ah! Which means the defense has yet to prove anything at all. Well, yes, that's true. The bow. Furthermore, just the fact that there is a bullet hole in the costume is not enough to substantiate even a plea of justified self-defense. Huh? How so? I am just a child on the bench. Please explain it. Ah! Don't just stand there. Hurry up and tell the court what transpired that day. With the new information we acquired, that I did, of course. You mean me by myself? You want me to put together the whole scenario all by myself? Ah! Yes, sir. Right away, sir. I am heavily abused. Please. During the channeling, the defendant saw her chance to stab the victim in the chest. Of course, the victim used the last of his strength to fight back, sir. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. The victim took a shot but missed because they were too close. The defendant picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun, and ended it. This scenario put together does make sense. Yes, sir. Well, Mr. Wright, on the surface, it does seem to make sense. However, I won't give up that easily. Please refrain from glaring at me like that, Mr. Wright. I know I'm a literal infant with no knowledge of the law, but you cannot glare at me. Now the cross-examination, please. Okay. Oh, so the contradiction would be the victim used the last of his strength to put up a fight. While the two were fighting, he took out his gun. The victim took a shot, and he missed. The defendant picked up on the opening, took the gun. If he was using like the last of his strength, he got stabbed in the chest, and he said like you couldn't even do anything. So he was stabbed, but the stab wound didn't kill him. But if you look closely at the blood loss, he was probably hurt pretty bad. How badly hurt would you say he was? Actually, I went to give blood the other day, sir, and afterward I felt a little lightheaded and dizzy. I guess the damage was maybe about 10 times the dizziness. Ah! Von Karma slapped him. Sorry. The victim... The defendant... Here, we'll go this one. Where in the world did that pistol come from? It looks like the victim, Dr. Gray, specifically brought it for that day. But a handgun? He got it off the black market about 2 days before the murder. Why did Dr. Gray bring a gun? Was he taking precautions against something? The victim shot and he missed. So you're saying that the bullet hole in this costume was... That's how the bullet hole in this costume was made then. Sorry, pal, but yeah, that's what I think. The two of them were already fighting when a shot was fired. Maya, I'm really glad you weren't hurt. Von Karma's looking torqued. Maya has never fired a gun before in her whole life. The victim had already taken off the safety. With the safety off, even an amateur like you could fire it just by pulling the trigger. Even me? I wonder. If I just killed everyone in the court right now. Now, do you understand? Von Karma's logic is perfect. testimony certainly makes us look very bad, but there's got to be a contradiction in there somewhere, and uncovering it is to uncover the truth. Okay, what do we have that I'm missing? I don't understand what I'm missing. Did I not do any of these? Oh no, I did this one. Fuck. I think there's one that I didn't. I always press on like the opposite. Okay, this is the blood loss one. I guess it would be the shot and missed one? Or no, I did that one. Fuck. Is it the first one? Yeah, it is the first one. I didn't look at this one. There's quite a difference in height between Dr. Gray and the defendant. Had in body strength, then it would seem unlikely that the defendant could have stabbed the victim. Yeah, did you mention it? Yeah, I guess. You think you can get away with such flimsy reason, Mr. Wright? Maya Fey was in the middle of a channeling, was she not? When channeling with the Kurain channeling technique, the medium's physicality changes. With the nurse's build, the defendant could have easily been a match for the doctor. I don't believe it. She even studied up on the Kurain channeling technique. Like I said before, I am perfect. What about what you're talking about? I didn't quite get it. Never mind. Let's continue with the testimony. Okay, that's everything. Well, the victim took out his gun. The victim took a shot, but they missed because they were too close. The defendant picked up the... Let me see. Let me get the hint. No, there's no hint. No, fuck. And this one's so long. Fuck. I don't know which one it should be. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. Stabbed in the chest, shot point blank. Is it in the profiles? I think it was Eni's older sister. She's 18? She legal? Why the fuck are you in here, Mia? He was 35? Damn. I don't know what to push on. Victim shot, but they missed because they were too close. Oh, wait a minute. No, fuck! God, I'm hitting the wrong trigger to pull up the court menu. Is it this one? Fuck. I don't know what to do. Help. There's gotta be a contradiction. Okay, so during the channeling, the defendant saw her chance to stab the victim in the chest. Of course, the victim used the last of his strength to fight back. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. The victim took a shot, but they were too close. He missed. The defendant then picked up the gun, picked up on the opening, took the gun, and ended it. I don't understand what the contradiction is. Fuck. I'm really bad about that. Natalie, help. The nurse's build. Is it... I feel like it might be in the profiles, but I don't know where it would be in the profiles. Is there a hint I can get? 35, 31, 8, more age unknown. Stabbed in the chest, then shot at point blank. Gunpowder residue around the hole. This probably has to do something with the pistol, right? I don't understand what it is I'm missing. I'm very stupid. I'm just a dum-dum. Like, I have no idea what it could be. I'm just gonna Google it. Because I literally am stuck. Why would it be this? I think this is what they said to do. Yeah, this is it. Missing the tiny hole on this costume will be the prosecution's undoing. Yeah, what do you mean? This little hole has actually created a huge hole in your testimony. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. Your sick burns. You said 2 of them were fighting when the victim fired his gun at point-blank range. If that were true, then where's the gunpowder? See, I thought of that, but I assumed that there was a gunpowder burn because the fucking judge smelled it and said that it smelled like gunpowder. So I assumed that there was a burn. I'm sad. I would have picked up on that. I just thought there was a burn because the judge said he smelled gunpowder. Gunpowder burn. This is what you testified earlier. When something is shot at point-blank range, a burn area is left around the bullet hole. Oh. But there's not a single trace of gunpowder burn on... I thought there was because he said there was the fucking... That is a very good point. And what exactly is that point? It means that when the shot was fired, they were standing apart from each other. Oh, yeah. I'm disappointed, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You think you could punch a hole in my logic like that? With that wishy-washy thinking, anyone can explain that away. Then I implore you to disprove my line of thinking. Let's see. In the middle of the fight, the victim pushed the defendant away. And then when they separated, he fired. How was that? As if that was even possible. According to the testimony, the wound from the stabbing was very severe. The victim would not have had the strength to push the defendant very far away. Well, then... That's right, the defendant must have pushed the victim away. After stabbing him, she must have wanted to put some space between the doctor and herself. And then while she was preparing to strike again, the doctor took a shot. There. Even that should satisfy you. That doesn't make it awful. I feel like he does not listen to Phoenix at all. She gives some half-assed thing, and he's like, oh, it makes a lot of sense. Then I'm like, here's a very logical, thought-out argument. And he's like, what? That sounds pretty stupid. What do you think, Mr. Wright? Don't ask me what I think about my fucking prosecutors. Ugh. I must be careful. I can't afford to make a mistake here. Concentrate and think. Something doesn't make sense. There's a fatal flaw in our argument, Your Honor. Fatal? Flaw? Yeah! Very interesting. I'd love to see where this flaw is. Show me something that contradicts my explanation. She put some distance between them before rushing in to make the final blow. And when she was about to strike, the doctor took a shot. There must be a piece of evidence that contradicts this line of thinking. Is it the bullet hole? Oh, it is the right thing. Sorry, I was skipping through because I thought I got it wrong. I would like to point the court's attention to the hole in the folding screen. Oh, it seems like you already know what I'm talking about. Who? What? Where? Mr. Wright, your explanation, please. Are these two really this clueless? Yeah, and they're the whole judicial system standing here. The bullet went through the defendant's sleeve first, then through the folding screen. It passed at a height of approximately 8 inches off the ground, which means when the shot was fired, Maya, the defendant, was not getting ready to strike, but was actually squatting low to the ground. Order, order! This changes everything. Please look at this diagram of the crime scene. The victim, Dr. Gray, was here when he fired the shot, and the bullet hit the folding screen. It hit at this angle about 8 inches off the ground. At this time, the defendant was in this area. It would have had to have been like here, right? Somewhere around here. Uh-oh. The judge's face scrunched like he just smelled something bad. Wait, I just realized I forgot to brush this morning. Excuse me while I freshen up. Sure. In the meantime, I want you to think things through again. What? Why? At this time, the defendant was in this area. Why? Would it not be here? Would it be like here? Oh, behind the screen. There's that space behind the screen that we saw. Ah! The victim is an attacker for fighting, were they not? Then why would the attacker be what would the attacker be doing all the way back there? Besides which, if the attacker was behind the folding screen, then how could the victim even know where to shoot? It's obviously impossible. Yeah, I guess so. Mr. Wright? Boy, did I really just screw up royally. What's that? Extra focus now on where Maya was. That wasn't right? Damn, they got my shitty guess on camera, huh? Where else would it be in front of the folding screen? Like here? She was standing here near the folding screen. Wait a second. Well, the defendant was close to the ground at bullet height, but how can you gauge the distance from that? Is it possible that the defendant was standing much... Isn't it possible that the defendant was standing much closer to the victim? That's impossible. But why? You, of all people, should know the answer to that, Miss Von Karma. If she was shot from somewhere close to the gunpowder burn would be present. However, there's nothing of the sort around the bullet hole of this costume. Ah! God, it's you, Phoenix Wright. You. I believe it has now been proven that the defendant was standing a ways away when the victim was shot at. When the victim shot at her. But do you think this changes the defendant's situation? It changes everything. Honestly, Your Honor, this changes everything. The prosecution has claimed that the defendant was aiming to kill by stabbing. If that were true, delivering the final strike with a knife would be ideal. However, where and what were the defendant doing at that time? Squatting all the way by the folding screen. Exactly. If Maya Fey was the real murderer, why would she be by the folding screen instead of preparing to strike? Upon further consideration, it does make very little sense. Yeah, I figured there had to be a reason. Figuring out and proving the logic behind everything is your job. Dove. Alright, with this, the rest of the trial should be a bit... Oh. Blast the radius of disaster. You are such a smart man, Phoenix Wright. To think that you two have been able to make a completely hopeless case to this point. Now I know why Papa had a tough time with you. You amuse me. Of course, all the things to inherit. Why did it have to be the smarmy smile? Detective, how dare you damage my perfect logic? Huh? How is it my fault? You could start repairing your standing by removing the 3-strand goatee. What? And the rest of your punishment will come later. Hey, fuck. Well then, Your Honor, I think I've had all I can take of the detective's face. I think it's time to call the next witness. Next witness? That's gotta be Lotta. Very well, the court will take a 5-minute recess. After we reconvene, we'll hear from the next witness. To be continued. I guess I should just keep chopping them into bits. Seems like every segment's about 40 to 50 minutes, so we'll stop there. I might be done for the night. I'm kind of stuttering and my mind is exploding. I think I need to stop for the day just so that I can be coherent when I'm reading all these sentences, because the worse that I fucking say them, the worse they make sense to you if you're digging a hole while listening to this. Okay, love you, bye.